My favorite thing about the holiday season is crafting up new Christmas decor to add to my collection. Holiday decor can get really expensive, but we love our holiday decor. Each year, I love to add something a little new into our Christmas decor. I try to dream of ways to do it without breaking the bank. It's nice to be able to save that little bit of extra money towards Christmas gifts or Christmas plans instead of blowing it all on Christmas decorations. And I think it's a goal that's really attainable. I love DIYs and so it's really my favorite part. Plus you get to listen to Christmas music while you do it, and it creates memories and it's just fun. In today's video, I wanted to go over a few DIYs that I have done this holiday season to add some festivity to my little home. All of these are fairly cheap and easy to do, and so if you love crafting and DIY like me, this is for you. I love to start with my holiday decor vibe because I feel like that's something that changes vastly per person. I feel like my home decor vibe is very Little Women inspired. If you're on TikTok, you kind of know what that means. It's very cozy, kind of cottage, classic, homemade Christmas. Pinterest is my best friend. If you've watched my videos, I probably refer to Pinterest almost every video. Throughout the year, I am always pinning new ideas for Christmas and things to add into my collection. And then once I get a little closer to the holiday season, I pick and choose on which items I want to work on. Something that fits very well into the Little Women Christmas theme are orange garlands. The first time I made an orange garland was in high school with my mom. It's a pretty simple process, and if you do it right, the dried orange slices will last you for years. I actually kept a few of those orange slices from my mom to bring with me to college. They were part of my home decor in college for years. When I moved, I had to get rid of them. And so this year I'm making new dried orange slices. I prefer to make a garland out of them, but you can also make orange ornaments, table decorations. There's lots of different things that you can do with it. Oranges are classically kind of a Christmas fruit. So to me, oranges are very festive. To start out, you have to obviously buy oranges. I like to purchase a variety of oranges because it creates a very pretty, kind of organic feeling garland. My favorite type of orange to purchase for orange garlands are blood oranges. They have kind of a deep red versus like a kind of lighter orange. I think it's really pretty, and I love pops of red in Christmas time, so the blood oranges are my favorite, but I get a mix of different oranges. This last time I got 2 bags of oranges because I wanted to make a lot of garland, but you can get as many or as little as you want. It depends on how much you want to create. You want to slice all of your oranges pretty thin. I would say a 1/4 inch slice, maybe just a little bit smaller than that, but definitely not too much smaller than a 1/4 inch. After slicing them, you want to pat them dry with a paper towel as much as you can. You don't want to really like squish them and destroy the actual orange slice, but you just want to get as much dampness out as you can. It'll help with the drying process. I learned that you do want to use paper towels versus like a hand cloth, especially blood oranges. They will stain. So you don't want to stain all of your cloths. So I would use paper towels. That's like the hardest part about the whole process, is slicing them up and patting them down. After that, it's easy breezy. You're going to put them in the oven at 200 degrees on some parchment paper for 3 to 4 hours. I flip them every hour so that they get even amounts of heat on each side. You want to keep a pretty close eye on them as they get to that 3-hour mark. I did end up burning a few of mine because they were still a little damp, and so I was trying to get them as dry as possible in the oven, but I ended up burning them a little bit. So when they're mostly dry, like really like pretty dry and almost kind of a little bit sticky, you want to take them out, and then I let them air dry overnight to get rid of the remaining moisture in them without burning them. You can still use burned orange slices. They're just kind of more brown instead of red or orange or yellow, but to preserve that really beautiful rich color, you want to take them out probably around the 3-hour mark. The next day you can either create ornaments from them, you can string them into a garland like I have. I love hanging my orange garlands in the windows so that the window light can shine through them. It's really, really pretty. At the end of the season, you'll just want to really safely wrap them up, put them in like a bag or a box or something. Just make sure they're not gonna get smushed. And then you can use them, I would say probably like 3 or 4 years if you take good care of them. Eventually they do get pretty brittle and will crack a lot. Yeah, hopefully you can use them for a few years. The next DIY project that I worked on was quilted stockings. I really wanted to create some stockings last year for my husband and I, but I was kind of stuck on a design. I really wanted to create some tapestry stockings, but I could just never really source good Christmas tapestry. I wanted to thrift it and I just could never really find the right ones, and so instead I decided to do quilted stockings this year, and the main reason I decided this was because I thought it would be easy to recreate in the coming years when we add children into our family, so that eventually all of our stockings can kind of match one another. Materials that you'll need for this is quilter's cotton, batting, and a lining. Obviously this project is going to be 100% easier if you have a sewing machine, also if you know how to quilt too. Because stockings are so small, you kind of have to create smaller quilting blocks so that you can get most of the pattern on the actual stocking. This project is probably a little advanced, especially if you don't know how to sew. If you do know how to sew, I'm sure that you can figure it out, but it is totally worth it. They turned out so incredibly cute. I have a quilting encyclopedia that I thrifted about a year ago, and I reference it all the time. It is one of my best thrift finds, and if you love sewing and you love these quilted looks, I would really highly encourage you to look for a quilting book like this at your local thrift store. I've seen them lots of times before and I just never bothered to pick one up. I never really liked quilting as much as I do now. The quilting encyclopedia that I have has just like added so much more fun to quilting to me, so I really highly encourage you to pick one up. But you can always find quilt patterns for free on Pinterest and just online. You can choose to pick the same quilt block for both stockings or as many stockings as you want so that they all match, but I really like them to be a different pattern but matching colors. So it's still cohesive but also unique. Each person can have a stocking that's unique to them. Once you've chosen your quilt blocks, I actually mapped out the quilt blocks onto my stocking piece so that I knew exactly how much of each color I needed to cut out, so that I didn't end up wasting any material or time. I just put together and patchworked exactly what I needed. That definitely saved me a lot of time in the long run. And then after you've done that, you can just go ahead and start cutting all of your fabric and assemble it. You just sandwich all of the layers together like a classic quilt. What I did was I cut out my patchwork stocking piece, I cut out batting piece, and then I quilted those together. I stitched all around it so that it created a pocket. I did the same with my lining, and then stuck the lining into my stocking and put a bias binding just around the top so it's super clean. You don't have to do that. It was easier in my opinion, but they turned out so cute and I am so incredibly happy with them. I saved a lot of the colored fabrics to then be able to create new stockings when we do have kids so that they can all match a little bit. It was really fun and I'm very glad that I did it. I also saved my stocking pattern. I just drew it myself, but I saved it so that when I create new ones for when we do have kids, they're all the same size and shape and everything. Another really fun and easy DIY craft to do for Christmas is to upcycle thrifted Christmas decor. You could thrift ornaments, houses, like those little Christmas or gingerbread houses, or you could thrift wreaths and then just upcycle them to fit your style a little bit more. I ended up finding these cute little kind of nutcracker men. I think they're supposed to be ornaments, but they're very tall, like about 7 inches, and we have a pretty short Christmas tree, and so I will not end up using them on my Christmas tree, but I think they are really cute to trickle around the house. They were really beaten up when I got them at the thrift store. I think it's a really cute concept, but the paint was pretty old. They had some weird faces drawn on them with like permanent marker, and so I decided to just sand them down and give them a new look, painted them fresh, kind of stuck with the same colors that they were before, but just made them coordinate a little bit better so they look like a team. Softened the colors, still kept it red, blue, and green, but just made the colors a little more close to what my home decor vibe is. I used some gold rub and buff on their shoulders, or some of them have crowns, and just spruce them up, and they look so cute. I love them so much. I really do think that this is something I will probably do a lot in the future, is just, you know, look for things at the thrift store that are holiday-ish and just kind of upcycle them a little bit. I did do that last year. I had thrifted all of my ornaments, and most of them I kept them the way that they were. Some of them I did end up painting. Last year I also created some paper mache ornaments. I actually have some that I still need to paint, but I got that idea from my mom. Her Christmas tree has a lot of paper mache ornaments that she created probably when she was about my age also. She has some really pretty paper mache hearts on her tree and just really, really, really cute and homemade vibes. Oh, I made some paper mache pears actually, and those are some of my favorite ornaments. Christmas decorating is one of my favorite things. I loved when my mom would put up her tree growing up, and I would bug her every day in November to put it up. Sometimes we'd put it up on November 1st, sometimes a little bit later, but always before December started. And it was just one of my favorite things. Christmas decor just is so homey. I just love it so much. Something that I have done for my Christmas tree since getting married is putting tinsel on the tree. It's very vintage and kind of retro. I really like it. I think it just makes the tree like totally sparkle. You have to play Christmas music while you decorate. At this point, many of you probably already have decorated for Christmas. I'm definitely a Christmas early girl, but I know some of you prefer to decorate after Thanksgiving is over. But if you have decorated, maybe these are just some simple ideas to just kind of add to your Christmas decor. You can save these ideas for next year if you like, but if you are decorating this week or soon, I hope that you take these ideas. If you have any fun Christmas DIYs that you've been working on, let me know in the comments. I would love to hear. Also, if you have some fun Christmas traditions, I would love to hear about those too. This is my second year of Christmas with my husband, and I'm just always looking for good Christmas traditions to add to our holiday celebrations. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel. I do a lot of DIY stuff, so if you love DIY too, please subscribe, like this video, and I will see you guys later on in the holiday season. Bye.